A warm welcome to Rottie. The vision for this DIY renovation project and forthcoming Rottie mini-series is simple: to turn this attic room in the quirky Victorian era cottage from a slightly random dumping ground into a well-designed retro tech paradise corner. What could be better than designing it in conjunction with you, the Retro Rottie community? I'm not working from a script today, I'm improvising, so please bear with me if I make the odd stumble. I'll do a quick wee run through of the main criteria for this space renovation. Firstly, we'll need a stylish and practical forever home for my beautiful Commodore 64 Ultimate, as seen in a number of our recent videos, and also for any other fabulous retro tech computers. We'd love to have a space that looks and sounds great, or at least good, on camera as an alternative filming set or location, whatever you call it, for some Retro Rottie videos. A change of scenery now and again. As for the issue of whether it sounds good, we'll certainly be returning to that vital issue in just a minute. The Retro Tech Paradise Corner will need well-organised storage, and plenty of it. Really quite different from the slightly chaotic storage that's in here at the moment. I've already had some electrical work carried out as part of the preparation by an electrician, an electrical contractor. I'll show you that completed work at the appropriate moment. So from this point onwards, I'd really like, if at all possible, the project to be achievable by DIY. That's do it yourself for those who don't have that that abbreviation. Yes, hopefully this will be DIY renovation from now on. Hopefully I won't need to hire another contractor for anything. I think it's going to be more fun, more enjoyable, with a greater sense of attachment if I carry out the work myself, having consulted with you, the Retro Rottie community, for your input on ideas. This retro tech space will need to be achieved with really quite a minimal budget. I'm going to be looking for budget-friendly solutions wherever I can. Unfortunately, there's no big beefy budget available in my wallet, not at the moment. So that's going to be a running concern all the way through. So perhaps you could all bear that in mind when making helpful suggestions. If you have any money-saving tips for something that's a cheaper alternative that you happen to know from your experience is just as good as X, well then that would be fantastic and greatly appreciated. Yep, we're looking to do a budget-friendly DIY build here. I'll now move around and show you what this attic room looks like in its current state, to give you an idea of the relatively blank canvas that we're starting from. I hope you'll be able to excuse the noise of this creaky and clanky old ladder as I climb up into the attic room for you. This is the way in. Sorry about the noise. That's my industrial strength builder's vacuum cleaner, a Henry. Some of you may recognise those. That was a gift from a neighbour who was a builder. That's proved invaluable on so many DIY projects around the cottage and shed and garden. I don't know what I'd do without Henry sometimes. There's some old leftover sheet materials from previous projects that may come in useful at some point. There, of course, is the tripod I was using when you saw me sitting down. I call it the human cat flap type door to crawl through into a small cupboard right in the eaves of the building under the roof. Obviously, because of the shape of the roof, the ceiling gets lower and lower as you crawl in there. But hopefully I may be able to put some useful storage inside that eaves cupboard. One of my biggest ideas was to try and swap the door out for a sliding door, but I did that slides on a hanging track sideways, but I did some measurements the other day and I just don't think there's going to be room. I think I'm going to have to keep that door and just upgrade it. Obviously the architrave needs fixing, but these are quite minor issues. Oh, there's the new, in the corner there, the white box is the miniature consumer unit that the electrician installed, that has surge protection built into the miniature circuit breakers for when I have sensitive equipment, i.e. Retrotech computers installed up here. And then he installed this top quality Dado trunking like they have in offices with Hager, which I understand is a top German brand, sockets, and these square blanking plates, also the same brand. Those are placeholders for when I hopefully install Ethernet and or fibre optic local area network throughout the entire cottage. There's my trusty old tool tote that I made myself out of oak a number of years ago. You can see I have a lot of my decorating supplies and so forth out and about at the moment. Yeah, I have drawers. There's probably still some Amiga accessories or something in one of those. And then mostly, painting and decorating and DIY type tools that won't fit in the shed. You wouldn't believe how overcrowded the shed is. As you can see, I have some old shelving that came with the house that I didn't use. So there is some storage up here. It's just, not particularly good storage. You may be able to see on camera those thin shelves have bowed quite terribly in the middle. They're not supported enough and they're a bit thin. If we come around past the window, there's similar ones on the opposite wall as well. They bend and they bow, and some people might like the look of white melamine, but I can't say I particularly do myself, and it's probably not good for filming, really. Yeah, that one's not far below the ceiling. You see the top shelf. Well, some of you may recognise there is the early prototype in red card of the Commodore 64 dust cover from a recent retro Rottie video, which I believe at the time of recording has been our most watched video yet, even though it's one of our most recently released ones. And the stash of cardboard I used for that whole project, the leftovers stored underneath it here. Yeah, so just some shelving that I would almost certainly want to replace. Yeah, just more sort of random stuff stored in boxes, a waste bin, etc. I'll just try and pan around a bit more smoothly now. Yes, so obviously the centre piece, if you like, of it being a retro tech paradise corner would be this desk, currently covered up with sheets, which I believe is actually a large John Lewis dining table, but it's always been sort of used as a desk up here. yeah, with the trunking running along all the way above the desk, giving plenty of power options. And as I say, there's the possibility to run Ethernet, fibre optic, and possibly other cable types like HDMI, speaker cable, audio cable. There were some extra ones hidden behind a couple bucks there. Yeah, I think that Dado trunking I had the electrician put in is going to prove one of the main advantages here. Yeah, because it's an attic room, obviously in the roof of an old cottage, there's sloping ceilings, and the ceilings are very low. I'm relatively tall, and my head almost touches the ceiling. I've only got about 2 inches of clearance between my hair and the ceiling. I think that's why the previous owners opted for these kind of lights. I believe they're called downlighters here, that are more or less flush with the ceiling. I had the same electrician who did the Dado trunking replace those downlighter units, which were ancient ones that he said were potentially becoming dangerous because I'd noticed they were glowing red hot all the time. He swapped them for, I don't know, more like the latest ones. They wouldn't necessarily, downlighters of any kind, whether they're good ones or not, wouldn't necessarily be my choice, but because the ceiling is so low, you can't really have, you know, more stylish light fittings coming down from the ceiling because you'd bash your head on them all the time. Yeah, there's just one relatively small window in the entire space, which I keep covered with curtains almost all the time because you get really blinding, harsh sunlight in through that window. It's absolutely red hot up here at the moment. It's a very hot room in summer. And when I used to keep a lot more books on the shelves in the early days, I used to have it as kind of a library up here when I moved in 17 or 18 years ago. Many of the books, their spines were bleached by the sun when I didn't keep the curtain closed all the time. I didn't realise that was going to be an issue. And a number of my old books, you couldn't read the text on the spines anymore. The sun had bleached it right off. So, yeah, I'll probably opt for new curtains or new blinds or something, but that's always been a bit of an issue up here, the sort of juxtaposition between it would be nice to have natural light, but in here you don't tend to get the best kind of natural light. It tends to cause more problems than it solves. Some of you may be wondering if there's any central heating up here, and the answer is no, but as you can see I have electric oil-filled radiator. I used to have another one somewhere that I can wheel out and plug in wintertime when it's cold up here, but when it's super hot, like today, if I wanted to, you know, do a prolonged retro tech activity with a Commodore 64 or Amiga project or something, or if I wanted to film up here on a day like today, I'd need some sort of cooling unit, something that blows refrigerated air onto you to stay up here for a long time. But we've got the winter covered, we've got the electric heater. The TV I'm most likely to install up here, at least in the short term, as part of the build. Probably linked to the Commodore 64 Ultimate is the one stand I think I've lost and no longer have. So that's something we can talk about, the best way to mount or find a new stand for, be it a freestanding one or one that clamps to the desk like one of those monitor trees, or of course whether to wall mount the TV on this wall here. Believe me, that's an issue I've been giving lots of thought to. Yes, and we probably should talk about this wall, the big wall, the one behind the desk, because obviously that's a lot of potential there, a lot of potential for storage in an organised way, things that I'm going to need frequently for retro tech projects. It would be nice to have them laid out, you know, like a woodworker's pegboard or French cleat or slat wall or other tool wall system. You know, how people, like including me, who have their own workshop, be it in a shed or a garage or anywhere else, they like to have a lot of their most frequently used tools laid out in a pattern where they can pick them up automatically at a moment's notice. I'm definitely looking at options for that on the wall there. One thing I expect you'll have already noticed is the sound in here. I can only apologise for the sound quality of my voice on this video, but I thought it was important to give a true account of that and not, try to edit away the fact that the acoustics in this attic room, as you'd probably expect, are not good. At the moment they are not good for fairly simple reasons of physics that most of you probably know already, that I don't suppose I need to go into. And so one of the biggest areas that I am going to work on as part of the renovation, and for which I would of course welcome your suggestions, is acoustic solutions, acoustic improvements, reducing the echo and reverb and tinniness that comes from bouncing off the large expanses of smooth uninterrupted wall and ceiling in a small space. I already have quite a long list of ideas or potential ideas of my own, and quite a number of items I'm thinking of buying to get started with on the renovation. But if I list all of those now, this video will be longer than Gone with the Wind, so I think we'll have to leave most of those for episode 2. So for now, I'll just before I sign off remind you that I really am genuinely looking for community input of your ideas before I make a real big start beyond the little I've done already. So hopefully several of your ideas will marry up and mash up or mix up with many of mine, and we'll come up with a great hybrid approach to building the Rottie Retro Tech Paradise Corner here in the scruffy old attic room, and make it fabulous. So please, yes, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What are your biggest ideas? What do you think I should prioritise including? What do you think I should deprioritise as not important right now? What materials do you think would be great, either aesthetically or practically? Which of my ideas that I've alluded to so far do you think sound the smartest, and which ones do you think sound maybe a little bit dumb and you think, oh no, I wouldn't do it like that? Any comments, any feedback, any questions, any suggestions, fully welcome. So please get in touch, friends. Retro Rottie needs you. Of course, if you've ever undertaken a similar project, if you've ever built a retro tech workshop or retro tech corner or any kind of retro tech space in your home or shed or anywhere, of course would be delighted if you could share your insights and ideally some pictures of it in the comments, or send in to Retro Rottie by email. We'd love to know what some of you have done, if any of you are experienced at this kind of project. So look forward to hearing from you. Retro Rottie needs you. That's all we have time for today, friends. If you don't want to miss out on future episodes of this mini-series, you may wish to bookmark our channel page, or it may be easier to hit subscribe. It's probably the surest way to make sure you don't miss any. there won't necessarily be an exact regular schedule to when these Retro Tech Paradise Corner renovation episodes go out. They'll have to slot in among various life commitments and health concerns possibly, and of course the general stream of Retro Rottie video content, but I will work hard to sandwich them in as and when. So if this sounds like something that interests you, I hope you'll stay tuned and catch up with future episodes. In the meantime, friends, I hope you all stay nice and well. I really owe my perfect Rottweiler a good walk-is and some nice rotty tummy rubs probably now. She'll be missing me. And I'm missing her, of course. So I'll say for now, it's a goodbye from me.